Okay, I don't get this. I'm gonna move my camera away from the light post, and yet it's still there. What is that? Because there's nothing shining on my lens now. The other one is gone. What the heck is that?
Hi everyone, welcome to Vile Debunkery, where we take a look at the latest UFO and paranormal videos, photos and hoaxes. Tonight, a very recent case from the 21st of September 2015. A man and his wife spotted some UFOs from a Best Buy car park in a place called Concord. I think that's New Hampshire in America. The thing was, and he keeps saying this in the video, he can't see this with the naked eye. He can only see it while looking through his camera lens. So the debunker in me and in many of my friends on Facebook instantly thought this must be some sort of lens flare or lens reflection. There is, however, one problem with that assumption. At various points in the video, he purposely moves his camera so that the source of any lens flare, which we assume to be the large street light in the bottom right corner, is actually out of frame. So this should mean, according to the rules of lens flare, that the source of the light is not entering the lens. But just watch carefully. We go back to the beginning of the clip here. This is right at the start, and right now he zooms in. You can see it suddenly zoom in. There it goes. And I'll show it again coming up now. So we go to the beginning of the clip just as he's talking about moving so that the light is not visible. And what he actually does, instead of moving his body or really the camera very much, he just zooms in, and he just did it again there. So what he's actually done is zoomed in, but that doesn't stop the light from entering the frame. It just stops us from being able to see the light that's entering the frame. Now let's move on to a still photo that the couple provided, taken in the same car park but from a different place in the car park. As we could see, the original street light was right behind a tree. This one is out in the open, so they've taken the photo from a totally different angle, but we see the same sort of UFO hovering in the sky. What I've done here is I have drawn a box around the UFO, made a copy of that UFO, and now I'm going to drag it down and overlay it on top of the street light. And lo and behold, it fits absolutely perfectly. The proportions of the UFO are exactly the same as the proportions of the lights. It's pretty obvious here. You can actually even see the pole going in front of the lower light. It's quite obvious here that what we've got is the street lights are reflecting into the lens and coming out in the sky. It's classic lens flare. So I've done the same thing with a still from the video, from the original video, where we can see the street lights here behind some tree leaves. I've made a copy of the UFO. If we drag it down, the proportions are exactly the same. So that is what we are seeing. We are seeing lens flare. And if you refer back to the original video, you'll notice that the UFO, parts of the UFO are flickering on and off. This is caused by the branches of the tree that are passing in front of the light, which is causing the lens flare. Now if we were there, we could do a very simple test, which would simply be to hold our hand up in front of the camera and block our view of the street light, and that should then make the UFO disappear, because after all the street light is causing the UFO by reflecting in the camera lens. So what I did was I contacted my spirit guide, who went back in time and manifested as a local man walking past the camera lens, and there you see him there. Thank you, spirit guide. And you could see that what happens as his head passes in front of the street light, it actually stops part of the UFO from being visible. So as part of the light is covered, part of the UFO disappears. And there it goes. This proves beyond any shadow of a doubt that what we are looking at is lens flare. It is the street lamp reflecting in the camera lens that is causing our UFO to appear. So despite the fact that the witnesses insist that this can't have been lens flare because they were moving the camera around and trying to get away from the light, unfortunately they didn't move enough, and what we are looking at is most definitely good old lens flare.